Alright guys, just 1 second here. I am just uploading the link for the live feed. A lot of stuff to discuss with this game. Woo! Holy smokes. Okay, I'm thinking that's gonna be okay. Just gonna bring up the window here. Alright, so what is going on here? Alright, so as you guys can see, the start date is around 2194. I'm not sure what this format is, if it's the correct format. I know it fits for the game because the game works in days and the production works in months. So I think they did work around that um, to get that to kind of work out within the game itself. So as you guys can kind of see, a lot of stuff is kind of popping up all over the place. So over here we have the Breen, and whoa, they got a lot of territory. Binars, the Ferengi, the stupid Cardassians, the Zindi Council, the First Federation, the Shellyak, the Delton Union, which is huge. Whoa, they've done so much. We have the Tamarians down here, the Sona, the Orion Syndicate, Nausicaa, Klingon Space, the Gorn Hegemony, and then the Romulan Star Empire, the Zinti, the Kabali Republic. Well, is that Delta Quadrant space? Kabali should be in the Delta Quadrant. The Argarathi Commonwealth. I don't know if they're part of the Dominion. It doesn't look like it. Of course, the Dominion up here. They must have been exploring very far down because we have not been exploring way up there. And then I do believe the Borg is going to be somewhere around there. So it gives you a general idea. We're at this spot here. This is the United Federation of Planets. Everything you see in blue. There's a couple of systems that are kind of hodgepodge in here. Like we have Denobula. The Saurians picked up this system. There was really no reason for me to pick it up, so I didn't pick it up. They picked up this little piece down here. Their main collection of systems is right here. They got some up over here. I didn't really want to collect anything on the Romulan border. But so we have the Tellarites, the Vulcans, and the Andorians. And Earth, they're all part of the Federation. Whenever a species enters the Federation, they get to remain in control of their home systems. And Procyon is for Andor. And they also manage their own fleets. So, for instance, down here, when the Orions declared war on us, there were Vulcan fleets. I mean, the Vulcan fleets were just streaming through here. And that is the Vulcan sector. Yeah, Vulcan and Andor had taken, I mean, they had even taken Orion Prime. But of course, being the Federation, we returned those systems that were annexed to them after the war, as long as they did what we wanted them to do. So, there has been, these things up here that are like yellow, white, red, these have been challenges to say the least. I finally got my Empire Sprawl under control. That took me forever to figure out. Actually, sorry, my Empire Sprawl's right here. Basically, it's just administrative buildings. I mean, it's a collection of a couple of things that you would have to do. So for anyone listening about the Empire Sprawl that is having difficulties with it, I just want to quickly run through what I did to get control of it. Because once I had Earth, my Empire Sprawl was fine. But the moment I got all these star systems from the other three races, it went totally out of control. So one of the first things I did was I went into the traditions and ethics, and a couple of things helped me. Not that one. Right here. So this tradition under Frontier helped me increase my administrative capacity by 20 points. That helped a lot. Then once I did all of these in Frontier, I was able to get an Ascension perk, and I chose Imperial Prerogative. That got me another 25 points in administration. And I don't know why I went into Discovery. I was like, maybe the think tank I wanted. But then I read through everything, and there was one here, right here. Ambassadors working at the embassy complex now also increase administrative capacity by 5. So that one I'm currently working on, and I'm probably going to work on all of these, because once you unlock all of these in a single tradition, then you can choose an Ascension perk. Can't really see what those are right now, but they are really helpful. So right now we are, everyone's having babies. Everyone's having babies left and right. And I'm like, stop reproducing. Because my food supplies, they're not too bad. It's only -10 right now, but I know it's going to get worse if I don't do something about it. So I basically have every system producing a large-scale hydroponic field. As you can see, it's going to be producing those jobs. So I'm going to talk about jobs and unemployed and how that can really impact you and how to fix it. But the jobs-based production in that little box there says 18 food. So that's what I'm striving for right now, is to get that food production up. And a lot of these systems are doing the same thing. What I had done with all these systems is this one still needs to get upgraded. I went to the administrative complex, and as we can see, number of pops is greater than or equal to 20, and we have 13. So I had a Piscium. Right now we are waiting to upgrade our administration complex to the regional capital. Once we do that, it feeds into being able to support more in the Empire Sprawl. I've done this on Earth, as you guys can see here. I have a regional capital there. A lot of other places I have. Let's see. That was the one I was just clicking on. Oh, I still need one at Pajem. I could have swore I upgraded a lot of these. Perhaps you might just have to take my word for it, because I actually did upgrade a lot of these to that. So that's weird. That's really strange. Anyway, could have swore I did that. So we're looking at this list right here, and the very first thing I want to do is look at the red. The little red icons are unemployed population. That means you have people on your planet that are currently unemployed. And what unemployment is going to do, this is a great system to look at, because I can already see we have 2 unemployed workers. However, I am building a large-scale hydroponic farm, which is going to create 3 jobs, which should take care of this unemployment. If I click at that, we have unemployed Andorians, and their stratum is worker, so they should make great farmers. I'm hoping so. That is another thing I have been tackling, which is when you see these bars right here, that means every one of these colonies is working on something. So I went through every single one, and I'm building the farms because they're going to create jobs to reduce that unemployment. They're also going to help me with my food loss issue that I'm facing right now. And then you can also see the deficit of every colony right here. We are, let's see right here. Where is, forget what that icon is. It's this one right here. Supplies. So -2 in supplies, -6 food, -3 energy. So basically they are collecting from my huge pot empire-wide, which of course as the empire gets bigger, it's going to be much more of a hassle. So I really do want to get these things up and going. So that is what I have been working on and has been incredibly exhausting. Another thing too, this one's a really simple one, is when you form the Federation, your starbase capacity, you actually will come up to about 10 starbases if you've claimed a couple of systems as Earth. The only thing you really have to do is temporarily downgrade a couple of those starbases until you have 8 out of 8. As long as you have 8 out of 8, you're fine. Until you can start supporting more starbases than that, I would leave it as it is. And we currently only have one envoy. This was another issue I had, was Trillium D. So, I had researched top to bottom all over the internet trying to figure out where Trillium D was. And I went to a couple of sites and they said build a starport. What I don't like about this is that starport was something else. You actually have to upgrade it to a starport. I believe it's a trade depot or something along those lines. Nowhere in there would you get an idea of that you can upgrade that into a starport. That's probably one of my areas of concern, is for a lot of people that don't know the lingo, don't know how you get a starport. That could be a problem, because if you go to let's go to Starbase 1. Starbase 1, and let's say you're like, where is it now? But there's a couple of structures here that help with trade. And then some people are like, do I go to the starbase or do I go to the planet? So keep in mind that is planet based. You build a trading depot and we'll upgrade that to the starport as long as you have that researched. So back to Trillium D. They said just build a starport and you can trade it. You can't. It's one of the only things you cannot trade. The only place I found it, let me see if I can find it here now. No, I think it's Beta Prime. Yes. So Beta Prime. So you can go into your production queue, click on resources, and as long as it's researched, you've researched the Trillium mining ability to basically put a mine there for Trillium D. If it doesn't show in your build queue, you don't have it on your planet. You can't get it. So that could be a very big problem. I have only found it on one single planet in all these star systems. So I'm hoping that once we start to get new Federation members, we're going to have more sources of the Trillium D. Because I'm not sure how only one source is going to support our entire fleet. And just to let you know why Trillium D is so important, Trillium D is used in advanced shielding technology. So you can still build ships without it, but you would actually have to go into the, let's see, not fleet manager, what am I doing? Ship designer, and click on new design. Let's see, let me do light cruiser. I don't want that. Nobody likes an Intrepid. Do an Explorer. The Columbia class refit. And you would actually have to go in here. As you guys can see, there's lots of different weapons you can equip to the ship. And then secondary hull. Trillium plating. So that would be one that if you put it on the ship, or I believe most shielding, if you put it on a ship, that ship is going to cost you Trillium D to construct it. But if you take off the items that don't require Trillium D would not be required to build that ship. So you could definitely go about it that way if you want. However, you really want shielding on your ship. And just to let you guys know where my Trillium source is, it is on Beta Prime. So, Beta Leonis. Oh, that's bright. It's right here on the ship, and I think that's a gas giant. That's a Class E. Class C. So this one was settled by Andoria, and this was one of the star systems we did inherit when they did come into the Federation, thank God. So without the Andorians, I would be in a really sad place. So, a couple of new things is, so you saw the Columbia class refit of the NX. I have gone in there. Let's see, ship designer. NX class flagship. There we go. So I've gone into. Ain't she pretty? I have gone into this one and created my own NX Columbia refit battleship. This one is made purely for battle. And you can take a look. I have light pulse phaser cannons, medium pulse phaser cannons, light photon torpedoes, more pulse phaser cannons. I got a shuttle pod wing, more torpedoes, wide dispersal pattern set up for more destruction. I have shield emitters, a fusion reactor, and an optical sensor computer core, along with I have Makos on board. Let's see. Cost 120. Oh, that's what's costing some money there, or some of my crew. Ship hull points is plus 10%. Ship weapon damage is plus 5%. So Mako's a better crew for warships. And then I have a lot of additional systems set up here. So I'm going to start producing a lot more of these warships. They definitely take a lot of materials, and it takes a good amount of time, because we have, let's see here, we have the dicks known as the Cardassian Union trying to muscle in on our territory. They went through and they said, yep, this is our system, this is our system, this is our system, this is one of ours, and this is another one. Oh, and we want this one too. And I was like, I don't think so. Jerks. So I did move in a fleet of NX cruisers to support the starbase in the Iota Piscium star system. And let's see, science ships. Well, actually, let me have him return to Sol. Why are you not returning? Let me try this. There we go. And then we have the NX class flagship, the USS Endeavour, captained by Jonathan Archer, and he's getting old. He's getting super old. Unfortunately, he is going to die soon. So that's another thing about the game, is your researchers, your captains, your admirals, things like that, they get old and die. You can do additional research to extend the age of human life. However, you can't extend it indefinitely. So poor Jonathan Archer will die pretty soon. So sad. Um, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there because I've never had that happen before. But I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what's going to happen there. Let's see. What am I forgetting before we start up the game again? Okay. That's pretty cool. I never really looked at this one before. So we have a lot of migration treaties going on. I have a Zencathi? Zencathi? That's weird, because I do not have a migration treaty with them. That's, yeah, that's interesting. So you guys can kind of see the makeup of the Federation right now. The majority are Andorians, closely followed by Vulcans. And the Tellarites are going to be low because Tellarites breed very slowly. So if you have a colony and you're setting it up with Tellarites, make sure you are definitely getting migrants to that colony. Otherwise, its growth is going to be incredibly slow. Alright, so now to show you this, we are also the Federation joined the League of Interlinked Systems, along with the Saurians, the Deltons, the Denobulans, the Bolians, and the Benzars. So right now, the end goal here is to create a much bigger federation of planets with 5 additional members. And if you guys remember, I mean, we could definitely extend the federation all through here. Absorb this. Keep in mind, we don't get the homeworld, so even if we absorb Denobula, they would maintain control over their home system. Same thing with the Benzars. They would maintain their system. Bolians would maintain their system. Really, only space we would pick up would be the Saurians and the Deltons. So I am constantly trying to work on relations with the Delton Union. Okay, so let's take a look. Yeah, these are... The starbase is not connected to the trade network. I'm still trying to figure this one out. Haven't really gone into it too much, but I definitely do need to work on that. So we got our planets covered. And this starbase, I did upgrade to a starbase level 3. So now I have 3 slots of modules and 3 slots of facilities. And this is it's like a central computer core. We added armor plating along with the energy weapons array, the crew quarters, the San Francisco shipyards. So this is our main, this is Starbase 1, the main base that we have. And we have a science ship not doing anything. Where and... Oh! I scrapped a fleet of NX ships just because they've gotten so old. I need to build new ships. Oh, and let me show you the Poseidon class that we just got done researching. Let's see, ship designer. It's referred to as a multi-mission ship. Kind of looks like an Akira class. And like most other ships, we can definitely go in here and make our own version of it. But it is pretty much armed to the teeth. Let's see. Has an engineering hull. Trillium plating. Okay. Does have Makos on there. Countermeasures. So yeah. So this is our newest form of ship. I was wondering what's happened because I think Discovery should be starting in about 50 years or so. So I was wondering when I was going to start getting new ships. I'm not going to be creating any more NX cruisers. I will be making more Columbias, possibly the Poseidon class. I'm not too sure about it, because if we take a look at the hull points, armor, and shields, so it's about 28, 1,000, 1,600, 20. Oh, yeah. That's definitely 27, 511. So this is actually going to be a better ship than the Columbia. So let me go and see what's being built. I'm gonna dismiss that and make a Poseidon class. So now I started the timer. I have it on 3 times as fast because the game, this is Federation history. So you have a lot of time to cover. I did close our borders with a lot of jerks, to say the least. Like the Cardassians, the Orions, the Nausicaans. I definitely don't want any pirates roaming through Federation space. And they did not take too kindly to that, and it is whatever. These little red exclamations, these are alien vessels that are attacking scouts immediately when they enter the system. I could send a fleet and wipe out this one. The only thing is, then they're going to come in and they're going to take the system. So I'm not going to do the hard work for them. So this is Temerian space. But I'm curious. Curious if they took this from the Cardassians. Doesn't look like... It's a Class C. Class E. I'm curious about that one. I don't know why it's so far into Cardassian space. Alright, so we have started the interspecies medical exchange, and we have borrowed them one of our chief medical officers. And I haven't really heard back from him. So I'm getting a little curious about what happened. Ferengi, I don't mind Ferengi roaming through. That's Saurian. Let's see how we're doing with the Tamarians. Oddly enough, the Klingons are liking us right now. I think it's because we have an equivalent military. Angela at the ocean. Alright, so they're wary of us. Oh, this one, Delton's, is just not going anywhere. Well, that sucks. Brizene nitrate. Interesting. Okay, so all those farms did help a lot. Now we're in the positive 142, but we have to keep a watchful eye on that food because now we need brizene nitrate. So let's see. Don't want to do that on Earth. Let's see if I can find it in here because that symbol does look familiar. There we go. Soil Enrichment Center. Let's go ahead and build that one. See if we have... We'll build 3 of them. I build a lot of them because it doesn't seem like it ever works when you just build one structure for your entire empire. So I always build multiple of them. New research. Chemosite, fighter hangar. Still fighter hangar. And let's see, prison headquarters, penal colony, active planetary defense system. Let's do that. So our researchers are getting up there too. And actually, we're at a point with our Empire Sprawl where we could actually go and colonize a planet. So let me go to Starbase 1. Let's see. Colony ship. It's not letting me send out any humans. So as you can see, it tells us what they can colonize. I'm thinking about sending out Andorians because that Trillium D was on a polar planet. And I'm thinking we might have really good luck and try to do that again. Another multi-mission ship. How are we doing on our naval capacity? We're okay. And 2 Poseidons. 3 NXs. Upgrade that. Upgrade them. So this button right here, I always hit upgrade because every time you come out with a new technology, you have to constantly keep sending your ships back to their closest starbase to upgrade them so that they have the current technologies on board. This little button, if it's highlighted, it's because your ships are damaged and you need to send them back to get repaired. I've had one hell of a time of taking these ships and moving them over to another fleet. Even if this fleet is pretty full, but another fleet, one fleet has one, another fleet has just one. I literally. Oh, they declared war on the Tamarians. Good luck, Cardassians. Let's see. So they're equivalent to us. Oh. They're inferior. Interesting. Not looking good for the Tamarians. So a lot of this game is pausing, doing your stuff, and then letting it play out. If there's not like some major war event going on, then you're just doing a lot of upgrading and maintaining, doing a lot of building. There's our NX flagship. That definitely needs an upgrade. See, this is what I'm talking about. Ugh. Nausicaa, I don't know what Nausicaa thinks it's doing. But I'm trying to build warships because I really need to get them over to the Nausicaan border. But they are saying, let's see. So they are claiming they're claiming Desica. They want it because it has an M-class planet. Polar. Ooh, that actually. Let's see. Man. Really want to upgrade. But I can't right now. So Nausicaans are claiming Desica and Parima. Yeah, that's not happening. So we got a comment in chat. I'm going to just hop over here. And Broncos fan says, do you play against other people? You can. You can definitely play this game against other people. I'm kind of curious how that game would kind of play out. Just because it's such a huge builder. That I am trying to get a friend of mine that I play Star Trek Fleet Command with to do a game with me. I'm kind of curious how the co-op or versus would kind of work out. Or if you can start, 200 years in, you can be set up, that sort of thing. But there is multiplayer on this. Alright, so we encountered a new alien species, and so we're going to go ahead and translate their language. Let's see. And as you guys can see right now, the Brizene nitrate that we were down, now we're +8. This is the concerning thing for me more than anything is if I take all those 5 systems in, I have a feeling these numbers are going to get really out of whack. Because I'm staying in the positive, but it's not that much in the positive. So what you kind of have to expect is that when you do take in a member world, you are going to go into the red. It's fine. It is going to take some time to rebuild and get into the positive. I don't think you want to go ahead and jump the gun on it because you don't necessarily know what they have and what they don't have resources-wise on their planets. At least that's how I'm playing right now, and that has worked for me so far. So we'll see what happens. I know my Latinum is I'm only earning 2, and that is kind of another side project that I gotta research. I know it has something to do with these starbases not connected to trade networks that I have to work on and fix. The Wadi Emirates. Greeting from the Wadi Emirates. Chancellor Yifra is our elected representative, but in truth all citizens have a voice in our government. We strive to better ourselves through technology and by studying the alien cultures we encounter as we explore the galaxy. And they are egalitarians just like us. Xenophiles, increased opinion for other species, same as us. And materialists, loves academic privilege, living standards, cannot use AI outlawed, policy cannot use, robotic workers outlawed. Yes, this is Star Trek New Horizons. It is a mod on the base game of Stellaris, and it is great. If you guys like play the intro part of it, it's really cool because the Xindi probe comes through, the Xindi war starts. You have to go into the Delphic Expanse, and you have to mend ties so that the Andorians and the other Xindi races come and try to defend Earth. That whole one is really cool. Then I had an augment session where people were trying to decrypt information where we were holding augment bodies off of Earth, and they got loose, and so now the augments live within the let's see, is it this one right here? Yes, this is the augment star system. And so there's a campaign where you can stop what you're doing as the United Federation of Planets and play as an augment faction instead. However, you can't go back. So once you make that decision is done. There's a similar part in the Terran faction. If you decide to go make a game in the Mirror Universe and you want to play as a Terran, so you kind of start off with you've enslaved Tellar, Andoria, and Vulcan. However, there's immediately an event where you can rise up against your human oppressors. And that is actually kind of cool because you can start playing as those races that are rebelling, the rebellion, against the Terrans. So I love that amount of detail that these fans have put into this game. It's absolutely wonderful. So when you see some of the alien races and you're like, that looks funny, just know everything has been made by fans for fans, and it's absolutely free. The Star Trek New Horizons mod doesn't cost anything like usual mods. The base game of Stellaris definitely goes on sale. I know a friend of mine just got it for $10 on Steam, and I don't think it's playable on consoles. I have a friend who plays Stellaris on the PS4, and I don't think he's seen this mod for it on there. So we got that research done. Next stage, hull construction technology. I'm going to work on these two because they're going to take less time. Forges, deep mining network, prospecting day. I'm going to go with that. Sona made peace with the Orion's trade union. This is kind of a little bit easier because you can definitely see the ships as they move. Oh, that is our colony ship. Alright, phaser technology breakthrough. Prime Minister, my name is Liang Kong, and I've been leading a team researching advanced phaser weapons technologies. I'm pleased to announce that we've made a substantial breakthrough, offering us a number of potential applications to pursue. Modulated phasers, tunneling phasers. Oh, multi-phase phasers not available to humans. Only to Cardassians is graviton phasers. Provide me more information. Modulated phasers are capable of matching shield frequencies, ensuring more damage is applied to the shields. This option is only available to humans or Federation. And tunneling phasers are capable of piercing armor, ensuring some damage is applied directly to the hull. This option is not available to Cardassians. Don't really need to look at the other two. I'm actually going to go with modulated phasers. I have a feeling that's going to come into play if and when the Borg attack. So I'll have them work on that. Modulated phasers are done. Monthly influence +1, which is actually a really good thing, but I still have that one to do there. Zinti entered in a commercial pact with the Zindi entered into a commercial pact with the Zinti. Active planetary defense systems. Galactic Forum. Let me read this here. And I definitely suggest reading. Crew quarters, repair station, ship upgrade costs. I'm going to go with the Galactic Forum there. So now the Zindi and the Zinti are going to, looks like they're going to get into an alliance. However, I have a feeling that the reason the Deltons have been wanting to declare war on the Zindi is to prevent all this from happening. That should be interesting and see what happens there. So I've been working on this one for quite some time, but this one is different now. Welcome the Delton people into the United Federation of Planets. I only have these three, but now so I'm glad everyone could kind of see this. So the moment they became part of the Federation, everything went to crap. not everything, but I'll definitely show you guys what's going on here. So we have, with the accession of Day into the Federation, many Delton look to brave new worlds to experience life in the Federation. And here's a quick trivia question to everyone in the live chat. Who was the only Delton that we ever seen on screen? Whilst the conditions may be different from what they are used to on their home world, many of those pioneering Delton are taking the first steps. Pause. First steps from their world onto our own. What shall we do with those who wish to migrate? Welcome to Earth. Sponsor settlement and colony world. We're going to welcome them to Earth. And now the Ferengi want to, they're asking for association status with us. I'm okay with that. Alright, so now the Federation is reaching very deep in there. So for those of you who don't know, the only Delton we've seen on screen was Lieutenant Ilea from Star Trek the Motion Picture, who, did not have a good fate. But that definitely gives us an idea of the Deltons. Tau aliens. What is going on there? Oh, God, that color is hard. So, now we are definitely going to be meeting a lot. So, Casus Bell loss. We can no longer use the demilitarization on the day sector. Yeah. We can now use demilitarization against the Shelley corporate. The Zinti. The Zindi. Alright, so now, because we are exceeding our empire sprawl, it's impacting our research time. So it's additional research as a penalty, which sucks. Alright, so what do we got here? Luxuries, -7. Definitely have to do something about that. The empire sprawl, I'm hoping we can upgrade some Delton colonies, administrative districts, and it looks like we can. We'll have to downgrade a starbase here. So that's the Shellyak corporate. And I dare not enter their space. Okay, so the Galactic Core. So now I am going to have a lot more planets. It's like we just added 4. Just 4 colonies. What is... Oh, it's ruined. Sigh. Oh, thank you, Psionica. Thank you for feature reference. So I've never seen this before. So it looks like this recruit academy has to be demolished. I can't repair it. It's ruined. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And they don't have enough population to even support that. So let's take a look at some of the blockers here. Looks like those have to be removed. Unblocks hot springs, max commercial districts +1, and max water ice collector +1. So that's pretty cool. I don't want to do too many of removing these because I am working on those traditions that will hopefully help with speeding up these clearing these blockers. Let me go back. Division headquarters. Let's just see if they have anything here. No Trillium. I'm on the hunt for some Trillium D. Big time. Ooh, nice. So this system does have Trillium on it, which we will definitely be building once we can. I'm definitely going to upgrade the up to the Mega Forge. So these yellows mean we can upgrade. Civilian Industrial Center, Alloy Foundries, Of course, you're not going to let me upgrade the administration, which I need to do. Alright, so I can't even demolish that, the division headquarters. Let's take a look. No Trillium. Okay, so we gained one system that has Trillium D. That is a very, very good thing, because we only have that one system that does. However, I'm really curious. I want to go back to the Sol system, because I know, and they even mentioned that in the game's side. Sinica says it's weird that Trillium is so necessary considering its toxicity to Vulcans. Alright, let's see. Solitary. Slow breeders. Oh, Andorians are slow breeders as well. Industrious. And polar preference. Let's look at the Desica system. So Desica is the polar planet. And bare tundra, mineral fields. So I found Trillium D on, let's see, the first place I found it on was a polar planet, which is why I'm kind of like, should I be building on, should I be colonizing polar planets? Let's see, right here. So Arbazon 4. Let's see what kind of planet it is. So this one is yeah, this one is definitely class M temperate. So it's really hard to tell where you're going to find Trillium D. I wish it would tell me before I colonized it. That, I'm sure it does somewhere. I haven't figured out where to see it yet. So, Psionica, I don't know if you were listening, but Trillium D in this game is necessary for the upgraded shielding technology for your ships. Without it, you get really screwed. And right now, I just got my second star system that I can mine it out of. So, we can take a look and see where the heck is that icon. Trillium D, right here. So, I don't know. Okay, so my ships are consuming 0.03, produced 1.0, consumed ships. So monthly gain is 0.96. So I am getting that monthly gain on it. My ships are only consuming 0.03, which is a really good thing. We're not consuming the majority of it. So once we put down that secondary Trillium D mine, we should start accumulating it much faster. However, we have a luxuries issue. And we didn't before the Deltons came in. Everything else, I mean, it's still in the yellow. Food looks like it's increasing. Supplies, we're definitely consuming, but we're still good. So the only thing I have to worry about is I have to downgrade one starbase to an outpost. This will help the starbase capacity, because if you leave that starbase up, what it says it's going to do is it's going to increase the starbase upkeep costs by 25%, which is why we want to get that dropped and have it fall in line. Okay. Wow. What the? There's nothing here, though. Oh, it looks like there's one star system. The Snowden station, like Edward Snowden? There's a mining station. So Cyanica, you says depends on what you get for leaving it upgraded. What are you referring to specifically? I love looking at these things really up close. Oh, one thing I want to show you guys really quick. I thought this was so cool. So, when we formed the first Federation, I believe it was the Vulcans who set up observation posts in Deneb. Deneb was warp capable, but chose not to leave their system. So the Vulcans had set up this observation post to monitor them. And they had set up an aggressive observation. Within a couple of months, I got a note that the Deneb people are not taking too kindly to our use of abduction shuttles. So apparently the Vulcans were just abducting them and running tests on them. So I moved that over to passive observation. The natives are studying unknowingly from a safe distance, and every effort is made to avoid cultural contamination. Although it does say Klaha civilization, but it's in Deneb. And this should be the Bandy. So I'm not sure what that is about. But I thought that was a funny thing that came up. So Psionica says, it's been a while. Sometimes what you get is worth the increased maintenance. So she has a really good point, and I have a really good example of that. So let's go over here. And keep in mind, to get the Deltons into the Federation, it took like 5 attempts of doing very aggressive diplomacy with them, which costed me a ton of influence. But I wasn't really using it because my empire sprawl was kind of out of whack, so I didn't really worry about it too much. But if we take a look at Rhetor, so this is one of the starbases I inherited from the Endorians, I believe, and downgraded it to an outpost. However, these jerks right here are trying to claim my star systems, which means that there's a very good chance and possibility that they are going to invade. And this little outpost is not going to hold off a fleet of their ships, which is why I need to check on my fleets. They're upgrading, because I need to get a fleet of warships out there. Shipyard, so that's just upgrading. Okay, so when they're done upgrading, I'm probably going to upgrade that to a starbase, take the hit on it, like Psionica said, and yeah. I did close my borders to the Nausicaans, which I'm sure they did not take too fondly. However, I don't want Nausicaans in roaming the Federation. Psionica says, early Vulcans were freaky, apparently. Well, it's funny that you mention them, because the Vulcans are amazingly aggressive. If anyone, like, declares war on us, they're sending warships directly to the opponent to kill him dead. That was funny when the Orions did it, because the Vulcans are like, okay, you want to declare war on us? Boom, 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 boom. Took the home system. Boom. They annexed like all of these systems with their fleet. And then the Orions were like, okay, we're cool. We're done. So this one, So this one right here, there's still pirates here. There's a fleet in here that's 4K power. And I'm like, yeah, that's a little crazy right now, because let's look at our fleet power. Yeah, the fleet that's defending the Cardassian border has 2.4. And oh snap, they all just got upgraded to NX Columbia refits. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's cool. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look through the Delton system. So this is their home system. They get to keep that. The rest of their colony sites and systems where they're mining and whatnot, I'm definitely going to go ahead and send out construction ships. Let's see. Wow, that's pretty cool. So, Class Z planet is irradiated. So, it basically says these worlds show the telltale signs of a cataclysmic war between their inhabitants. Their surface is pockmarked with blast craters and ruined, blasted cityscapes. Trace biospheres exist on their surface and offer hope that these planets may yet sustain more advanced forms of life in the future. So this would be pretty cool. A bomb crater, city ruins, radioactive wasteland. So a lot of blockers to clear on this kind of planet. We had blockers to clear on Earth. Let me see if I can show you guys here. Oh no, they cleared them. They're totally gone. But it was basically the ruins of Rio de Janeiro and the ruins of Shanghai. They still were not repaired after World War III on Earth, so you actually have to go into the game and do that yourself. Yeah, and just to show you guys some of the ships, ship designer. So there is the Poseidon, and right now that's the beast mode. But I do love the NX refit, the Columbia, the Columbia class. It is it's a pretty ship. It's when the NX-01 finally got a secondary hull and a proper deflector dish, and probably shields, photon torpedoes, things that actually made it a real ship. And it looks like it gained some impulse drives for extra maneuverability too. But yeah, it's a really pretty ship. I like that one. And I'm pretty sure that this one, it may be, I'm curious because I didn't think this was part of the Archer series. I'm trying to figure out through the time when I'm going to be hitting the Discovery era and getting those ships. So let's go through here. This is the boring part. So they're still building a lot there. I'm looking to upgrade administration. There's a lot of upgrades to do. No, it doesn't look like any administration, of course, can be upgraded. Oops, we forgot. We have a colony ship. All right, so we're just so I got most of the stuff there done. Let me go back to the starbase. And we don't have enough materials to build another Poseidon. Right now I'm leaving the starbases the way they are in the Delton systems because there's some issues going on with the Zindi and the Zinti. And we're right in between them. I'm hoping to get the Zindi into the Federation. The small settlement of Armstrong City, which I just re-established on the moon, has been expanded greatly with new buildings and colonists. Colonists continue to flock to the new opportunities on Luna, with one quoted as saying that this is of the month-long lunar night. People say it's so barren and harsh, but it's not. It's beautiful. Dawn is so shocking on the moon. 1 minute you're in the darkest night you can imagine, and in the next instant the sun lifts up and this glorious pure light just explodes across the surface. So, does that mean I have a Luna colony now? I don't see it. We got some unemployed on Earth. Alright, so we have time for a new tradition. And let's see. Reduces crime by 10, which is good. Reduces pop amenities usage by our pops by -5% and reduces the building. And that is... okay. So we do have a starport on Earth. So figuring out these luxury issues. Whilst consumer goods meet the requirement of a vast portion of the populace, luxuries are available only to a select few, whether it is down to quality, opulence, or simply scarcity. This deposit must be produced from rare ground deposits or imported via starport. Luxuries are required to construct and maintain education administrative districts. All common materials are used in the development and upkeep of your civilian economy. Okay. So, got to keep that in mind. This is the one I want, so I'm going to go for this one here. We got 2 people unemployed. Doctor jobs and entertainer jobs. Let's try the entertainment center. Okay. See, what do we need? 509 of alloy. There we go. What is the flagship that we have? An X class. Wow, that was much faster that time. Oh no, it's still colonizing. So trying to get the Saurians into the Federation. Try to high priority diplomacy. We'll see if it works. Bonaventure class, light cruiser. Ooh, another new ship. Oops. More brizene nitrate. Oh, we just went through that. Okay. The light cruiser. The Bonaventure class. Reinforced hull. The Intrepid class light cruiser has been marked for retirement. While Intrepid type class vessels have served the fleet well for many years, the cost of maintaining the class has become prohibitive as newer designs have entered production. Oh yeah, I will definitely do naval capacity. Monthly influence, definitely. Oh dang, the Walker class. I believe the Walker class is the Shenzhou, but I'm not sure. Rising nitrate. Let's go back through the systems here. That should help a little bit. Alright guys, so you guys can definitely see what this game is about. I think it's a ton of fun. It takes a lot of time, and keep in mind we're just hit year 2200. I believe we were at like 2191, so about 9 years and an hour and a half at triple the speed. So definitely go out and play it. Let me know what you think. If you do want to do some multiplayer action, I'm definitely all for that. So just hit me up on Discord. But thank you guys so much for watching today. Take care, and I will talk with you later.